Welcome back to Celebration 2020. Hope you guys had an amazing lunch break and enjoyed the first session. I know the feedback has been absolutely amazing, so we're so happy to hear that you guys are enjoying our first ever virtual event. So now we're going to kick things off for session 2. I'd like to introduce our next speaker, our co-founder, Jeff Thompson, who's going to be talking about growing together toward one purpose.
Hi guys, it's good to be with you guys here today. This 2020 celebration, virtual celebration. I'll be honest, I truly wish that we were meeting face to face at the Anaheim Marriott, having started with a party and looking forward to ending with a party and seeing all your amazing faces and just catching up and embracing one another. Unfortunately, we have to do this thing virtually as 2020 has really thrown many curveballs at us, but we're happy to be able to come at you guys this way as well, and just be able to share some of our thoughts. And today I just really wanted to start off by simply expressing some gratitude, not to sound like a broken record, but this probably is my favorite core value, gratitude. We express gratitude in everything we do. And when I think about Smile's foundation and its beginnings, I do think about Nicole and her gratitude journal. So I am grateful to my lovely, dear wife, Nicole, for being so fearless, for being in tune with herself and, with the spirit and just, living out that dream. And I'm just grateful for her gratitude journal and expressing, her gratitude and even the little things. I remember at that time, it was 2013, early 2013. And as many of you guys know, we were living in her parents' home, saving for our first home, which I guess displays the belief that we had in ourselves to accomplish such a goal and the sacrifices that were needed to be made in order to do so. But I'm just grateful for her, grateful for that gratitude journal. And I'm grateful that she trusted in me as well when fears and doubts creep in, as they inevitably will. We're all human and that's what happens. And she gave me that phone call and I was able to reassure her of her amazing worth and her amazing, abilities. And, Smile was born. I honestly, you guys, I can recall getting those first samples and just seeing it and dreaming big about this company. And I immediately had a vision then, which I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'll jump into that vision a little bit later on. But I had a vision for this company since inception, ever since Nicole brought home those first samples and put them on, our daughter Lucille, who I believe was only 3 or 4 at the time. And I knew then that we had something amazing on our hands and I wanted to grow it into something much bigger. Of course, with her, this thing could not have been, possible without her amazing creativity. So I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful for our partnership and our teamwork. And I'm grateful also that together we took another leap of faith back in late 2016 when I left corporate America to roll the dice on Smile full time, which ultimately led to this amazing opportunity. And this direct sales model that we find ourselves in that's blessed the lives of many people, including ourselves. And, we're forever grateful for you guys who make that dream possible. We cannot grow without you guys, and this is a team effort. So again, just wanted to start off by expressing that gratitude to my amazing wife and to all you merchandisers within the sound of my voice for all that you've done. And that goes out to even past merchandisers, believe it or not, for all that they've done and whether they're with us today or not, they shared that opportunity with others who are probably still here with us. And we're just grateful for everyone who has been here and been able to get Smile to where it currently is today. So thank you guys. In preparing for the talk, the speech, whatever you want to refer to it as, I looked up as I was, dwelling on gratitude. I looked up some quotes on gratitude and I found a couple that I really loved and I'd like to share with you guys. The first one says the following: gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. So, and that was by Melody Beattie, Beattie. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but amazing quote. But what I love about it is sometimes with gratitude, again, the opening line is gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. Not to be confused with settling or not being able to dream or establish lofty goals, right? Because The last sentence in this quote also says, brings peace for today and creates a vision for tomorrow. So we can have a heart filled with gratitude and be content and grateful for what we have, saying that, that is enough and more, but at the same time, having a vision for tomorrow. And so that's what it is here at Smile, to be honest. And I recall, I don't know if I think it was a leadership, maybe it was convention, but I remember Sandy Etheridge being at, the home office at 1501 Railroad Street and having a conversation with her and her asking about Smile in the future. And I remember telling her, you know what, I am so grateful for what it is even now. Even if we stopped growing today, Nicole and I would be blessed with more than we had ever expected. But when I speak to Smile's vision, please understand that that's also something that's beneficial for you guys. It's not to say that where we are is not enough for Nicole and myself. It's just to say that there's so many more out there probably looking for this opportunity who could benefit from it. And to just say that really we're just getting started. And with that growth, you guys could benefit from that as well, from commission checks and building teams. That's the possibility, and could be a reality for you, and it has been for many of you. One other one I found that was fun that I wanted to share. It says, do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. So an amazing quote, and I have to pinch myself. Even while preparing this talk, I walked over to that window over there and overlooked the entire warehouse. And it's a 72,000 square foot warehouse facility. For those of you who have not been here, I was just looking over the lease, and it's actually listed at over 72,000 square feet. I was under the impression it was 72. Remember that this started in a bedroom not many years ago, you guys, just 7 years ago. So that growth is truly phenomenal. And I just have to stop, pause, and I invite all of you guys to do this, to just stop and take in where you are now and understand that what you have now was something that you hoped for many years ago. So to be grateful for that and establish, a new vision for yourself, and start working towards, making that a reality. So again, gratitude doesn't mean that we can't set lofty goals for ourselves. And a lot of times, I get stuck because the company that I left to go all in on Smile, they experienced insane growth in a short matter of time. They went from nothing to over $1 billion company in less than 5 years. Being a part of that was both a blessing and a curse. It was a blessing because it opened my mind up to what is possible in a reality, but also oftentimes the curse is, for me, I often compare our growth at Smile to that growth. And sometimes I feel like we're not growing quick enough, and I really can't do that. I need to compare ourself, Smile, to itself, and not, fall victim to that comparison trap. And, really understand that our growth has been phenomenal, since 2017, with that February announcement of going direct sales. We've averaged 12.5 million each year. So really that is explosive growth. We're obviously ready to do more and to continue to grow, which will just be a blessing to really all of us. But we should really just stop and accept the fact that we really have experienced phenomenal growth. I mean, I'm sitting here in this beautiful boardroom right now, overlooking this beautiful warehouse, and again, oftentimes I don't stop enough. Nicole and I don't stop enough to pinch ourselves and go like, wow, what a blessing. This is amazing. So I encourage you guys to do that for yourselves as well. So again, also just want to express gratitude for you guys, the merchandisers, and our collective purpose and mission. We've really grown together as a team in one purpose and one mission, really just one vision. So again, we're better today than we were yesterday. And that's one of the key things I want to express to you guys, is that we are better today than we were yesterday. And that's what matters, is that we're making constant improvement day in and day out. And we focus on the best version of ourselves as a company, and you individually as a merchandiser. As a company, we are much better today than we were, even last year, right? Even last month, we're just constantly making improvements. As a company, some of the highlights I thought about when I was writing about this, some new offices, I've just mentioned this, that we're sitting here in a 72,000 beautiful square foot warehouse that we call home. And I've said this before, but you guys, this is your home away from home. Hopefully once all this COVID stuff clears up, we can have you guys back out for amazing events and have you guys out for box pools, whatever it may be. But we've decorated this place beautifully, taking our core values and painting them on the walls, painting them in the warehouse, hanging up our core values as banners out in the warehouse, painting our purpose on the stairwell, on the exterior stairwell out there, so that our staff, when they're pulling your order, are reminded that this box pool is going to create smiles and build confidence. So we just want to instill that vision in our employees here, as well as you guys, and even our customers, and let everybody know what we're about. So we have the new offices. Again, we're decking them out and really just living our purpose and our values here, and reminding everybody of them daily. We've gone from being a kids dress company of a tank dress and a romper, or really initially it was a tank dress and leggings. So we've taken that to a complete kids brand, offering both, girls and boys. And again, we're establishing Smile as a kids clothing brand. We've helped 4 major charities. Again, that goes right in hand with our purpose of creating smiles and building confidence. We've helped 4 major charities. You guys know them: Chalk, Charity Vision, Operation Underground Railroad, and most recently, Big Brothers Big Sisters. Think of the smiles that have been created in each of those individual efforts. And we've got more in the pipeline, and we've got one coming up here in the month of September with a company called the Festival of Children. I don't want to say too much, but the Festival of Children, I'm honored that they would want to team up with Smile and work with us. It's ran by a lady who is one of the wealthiest women in Orange County. I'm not going to name drop, but I'm just going to let her come on at a future Smile Connect and speak to Festival of Children, what it is and why she started it. So again, we're just honored to be able to team up with them. And that's the next charity, just to give you guys kind of a quick heads up on what is next. But again, this is something that we are living, that is part of us as a company and part of our why, our purpose of creating those smiles and building confidence. So we've helped 4 major charities thus far. We're gonna team up with our 5th one here soon. We've created an infrastructure with Smile Connects, Smile Jams, Getting Started programs, the Fast Start programs, marketing videos, professional flat lays that many of you guys have come back and given us great feedback on, that really helps you guys, sell through on those products. While you're waiting on a box to hit your front porch, you already have those flat lays and drop box the majority of the time, to be able to advertise and inform your customers that, hey, these prints are on the, possibly on the way. And then when you do have your box, you know what size and prints you did receive. You don't have to waste all that time, taking all those photos. That time can be spent on capturing new customers, sharing the opportunity, so on and so forth. So many of you guys have written in thanking us for that. And, honestly, it's our pleasure. Again, our value of empathy is we listen, understand, and genuinely care. So we do listen, we do hear you. And not that many of you guys were actually asking for that, but we do, again, with innovation, we innovate with creativity and constant improvement. So we're looking for ways to constantly improve and to be creative. So again, and there's so much more to come, so much more in the pipeline. And Calvin's been really good at helping us create this infrastructure and tools that you merchandisers need to succeed out in the field. So as merchandisers, wow, you guys, the growth that we've experienced in this time of crisis, really over the past 3.5 months, has been phenomenal. In just 3 months, we've grown the merchandiser base. We've grown over 830 brought over 830 new merchandisers into the business in that 3-month period. That is outstanding. I cannot begin to tell you guys how proud I am and how much hope that gives me really for the future. As you know, that we do have a vision and a mission that we're trying to accomplish, and that's only going to be possible with your guys' efforts and sharing that opportunity. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's not let up. Let's continue. As you know, Nicole and I have put incentives in place to really just pay our respects and express that gratitude financially, as that, incentive is of bringing people into the business and sharing that opportunity is there. So again, the opportunity today in Smile truly is the opportunity to work. We find ourselves in a time where work may be hard to come by, right? Where people are being furloughed or losing their jobs. And while it's unfortunate, Smile does provide an opportunity to work. And please know and understand that at Smile, we're constantly looking for new people to join the team, and anyone who wants to work can join us. So we're always looking for new merchandisers. And so just continue to share that opportunity, as there's going to be many more people out there who are going to be looking and needing a plan B to support their family financially. As far as finances are concerned, I just wanted to share a fun and interesting update on total commissions paid out since 2017. Again, 2017 was a partial year because the actual program didn't go into effect, I think, until June or July. So in total, you guys, we've paid out, this is money right back into the merchandisers' pockets, $3,961,000, $967.68. So almost just shy of $4 million. That's incredible. Broken down by month, 2017, as I mentioned, I think this program started in June or July. And in the year of 2017, we paid out $801,000. I'm rounding down. And then 2018, we did 1.3 million, rounding down. 2019, 1.15 million. And then in 2020, we've done $671,893.92 so far this year. So again, guys, just shy of $4 million. That's money directly back into your wallets, there to support you guys and your dreams, your families, to support your families and, all that other great jazz. And please understand that the ultimate goal here at Smile is long-term success for you and your families. I said that at Smile Summit. We do have the vision, but the ultimate goal here at Smile is long-term success for you and your families. So again, when I read that number off, just shy of 4 million in, really actually, that's essentially 3 years, because again, you had half of 2017 and we have half of 2020. So, 4 million paid out, rounding up in, 3 years. That's pretty amazing. And there's so much more growth ahead of us. And that's why when I speak to the vision and, $100 million company, and, that's really kind of the big, hairy, audacious goal right now. But think about what that would be. Think about, $4 million paid out to the merchandisers in 3 years. Imagine having that paid out in a year. Imagine that kind of growth, or having that kind of a year together. Or even bigger than that, have that paid out on a monthly basis. I mean, that would be a $500 million company. But again, these things are possible, and we know it takes time. But just think big and imagine that and what that could do. So anyways, again, the ultimate goal is to create long-term success for you and your families. That can only be accomplished together, right? So again, I want to stress teamwork. Home office working with the field working with home office, the field working together as teams, not in silos, not team versus team, but work with your team, reach down to your downline. I know recently Calvin has been chatting and really challenging individuals to rank up, and to do so, he's been really enlightening them to, reach out to, their downline and get them involved. And I know that some people have felt a little guilty doing that, but you shouldn't. And you should understand that is only possible, ranking up is only possible with your team and working together as a team. So again, long-term success for you and your family is the ultimate goal. One of the other things that I spoke at Smile Summit that I wanted to reiterate here, my responsibility as CEO, there's a lot, but if I had to sum it up into 3 major components, they would be the following: secure fuel for growth, build the team, and set the vision. Now, I've said this before, but there's obviously many, new merchandisers here for the first time. And those are really my main big 3 responsibilities, right? So number one, in no particular order. In fact, I'd say set the vision is probably the most important. But I'm focusing on secure fuel for growth. So what does that mean? Secure fuel for growth. Other CEOs have joked about that means don't run out of money. But ultimately, you guys are the fuel for this company, the merchandisers, your buying patterns. If you guys are successful with your customers, we will be successful. And so again, we're in this together as a team. But you guys are the fuel. You guys are what are going to fuel the growth. So we rely on you. So again, just to let you guys know, this 830 new merchandisers that were brought in these past 3 months, put us a little over 1,900 merchandisers. I'm going to be completely honest and say that we ran a deactivation for people who actually normally we do it, I believe, at the 6-month mark, but we did it at an 8-month mark. And that brought us down to 1,715 merchandisers. So I can tell you that today we have 1,715 merchandisers, not counting what we're bringing in the month of July. So as you know, with this industry, people refer to it as, a bathtub that has a plug that doesn't completely, seal up. So you always have people kind of coming and going. So it's really important to constantly be out there recruiting and sharing the opportunity. I know Calvin has mentioned to me, just with his own experience and his knowledge, that, the first 7 years, you cannot stop building your team. And within 7 years, you should then have a pretty solid foundation. And with that foundation, and over those 7 years, you will have found leaders who are blazing trails and really setting it off below you that is ultimately paying you, basically in dividends, just income. So again, but you got to get going for 7 years to ensure that, right? So a lot of work, but you guys are the fuel for the growth here. One of my other big threes is to, build the team. I spoke about this as well at Smile Summit. I've done that here at home office, and that's something I have a lot of control over, obviously with hiring new individuals, and not too many updates there. But I do want to say, we've brought on Michael Fosselman, who's outstanding. He's an individual who's been in logistics and distribution his entire adult life. We brought him on. He's a rock star. For those of you who were at Smile Summit, you saw the warehouse, you saw its cleanliness, you saw its order, and that's all thanks to Michael. So we have him on the team here at home office. And most recently, I teamed up with an individual by the name of Hal Halliday. He's acting as one of my mentors, and I'm, connecting with him via Zoom, at least bi-monthly. And I also have him tuning in to our monthly meetings every Monday with the entire team. The value Hal brings, Hal is an individual who started his career on Wall Street, and then he came out to the West Coast, and he was a high-level executive at the banks in the Bay Area. And then he sold a couple companies in the tech space. And then he also had Infusionsoft, the CEO of Infusionsoft, Clayton Mask, reach out to him and say, hey, we think we've got something here. Can you come over here and help us blow this thing up? He went over there. He was the chief people officer at Infusionsoft, which is now known as Keep. And Hal helped him grow it from, $20 million at the time to over $100 million. So Hal understands these principles. He knows them very well. He's lived them in a $100 million plus company. And so I brought Hal on to, as a mentor to me, and to also just have an eye on the business and to come with his recommendations and to really just help the team, get to where we want to be. So I'm grateful to report that new addition. And again, when it comes to the field, we look to you to obviously grow those numbers, the merchandisers, to climb these mountains that we've discussed, the Matterhorn mission, $100 million mission. We calculate that would take roughly 10,000 merchandisers. That growth is going to come from you guys. So what I've done is also provided you with some of the best out there, and namely Calvin Becerra. I knew that you guys needed access to somebody with all your questions, field related, and Calvin's really, been, well received. He's done an amazing job. He's there if you need him. He wants to connect with you, and he wants you to succeed as well as the company. So he's got the biggest heart, and he's got an amazing mind and knowledge, right? So reach out to him. He's going to help you guys get there. And again, I wanted to reiterate this. I shared this at Smile Summit, but when we are doing that and we are looking to recruiting and we look around, do not compare yourself to other merchandisers. Be the best version of yourself. Got this amazing quote from this guy, Kobe, and it says, you always want to outwork your potential. As hard as you believe you can work harder than that. So again, your potential. Don't try to outwork your neighbor, outwork your potential. And then once you start outworking your potential, understand that you can work even harder than that. So it's an amazing quote. I love that. But oftentimes people don't want to put in that work, right? They don't want to be the best version of themselves. They just want it to happen overnight. And that's one of the biggest mistakes. And it leads me to this quote that I want to share by Gary Vaynerchuk. Many of you guys know him as Gary V. He says, people lose because they want things fast when life is long. You can't expect 30 years of results from 30 minutes of work. You need to move fast, but understand your vision takes time. And that resonates with me as well, right? I'm sitting here trying to establish this compelling vision for Smile. And I need to understand that it takes time. And I do understand that. And the mission that we currently have is a 3 to 5 year mission. But again, we have to ask ourselves, how do we make that dream a reality? Well, how do you eat an elephant, right? They say one bite at a time. So one day at a time, we work towards making that dream a reality. And I love this quote by Greg Reed that states the following: a dream written down with a date becomes a goal broken down into steps becomes a plan backed by action becomes a reality. So again, the dream's out there, but we need to write it down, make it become a goal, and have, steps written down to ultimately have that become a plan, and then also have the action there. And that's how we turn our dreams into a reality. And we've really done that. Again, going back to the gratitude journal and the dream, and Nicole going down to LA for the fabric. I'm sitting here in this 72,000 square foot facility. Dreams do come true with hard work, but also teamwork. So again, thank you guys for believing in us and believing in yourselves and joining this opportunity. In this same vein here, as you guys know, Jordan Adler is our keynote speaker, and he'll be closing the event. He's an amazing individual. When he agreed to do this, he wanted to get on a Zoom with Nicole and I just to get to know us, get to know our story. And he's an amazing person. I can see why he's so successful in this industry. He's genuine, and he seems like the type who will talk to anybody and not be pushy, but just share, his opportunity with them. And that's ultimately what's led him to success. And he went on to write a book called Beach Money. And then he wrote another book called Better Than Beach Money. But he sent these to us, signed copies, very nice guy. And I thought, I want to read it. And I want to encourage each and every one of you to pick this up. Again, Beach Money by Jordan Adler. It's a quick read, and the chapters are short and sweet, but again, they're packed with and loaded with great, valuable information, especially for you as a merchandiser. And chapter 10, I will say, really spoke to me. And chapter 10 is entitled "How a Minor Shift in My Thinking Transformed My Bank Account." And honestly, I just wanted to quickly read this. Again, I mentioned to you guys it's short and sweet, but it's so amazing. He says here, people often ask me, how do you accomplish so much in so little time? I've learned that even the most complicated things can usually be broken down into 3 easy steps. That single lesson made my life infinitely more manageable and expanded my bank deposits beyond my wildest dreams. In fact, my beach money lifestyle kicked in when I began breaking down my projects, goals, and dreams into 3 easy steps. So again, it goes right along with what I'm talking about here. Greg Reed's quote and Gary Vee's quote on, wanting 30 years of results in 30 minutes. A beach money lifestyle is a few months away for you, too, if you apply this simple concept. Some people say it's easier said than done, but I say it's easy to say and easy to do. The biggest challenge is stripping away all the extra stuff we add to make ourselves feel important and smart. That is so true, right? Here are a few examples. If you are learning to fly an airplane, you'll need to learn to do 3 things: take off, fly, and land. Once you have mastered these 3 things, you can fly safely and successfully. If you are an architect, you need to learn to do 3 things: assess clients' needs, create designs, communicate specs so designs can be built. That's it. When you become really great at these 3 things, you will have become a masterful architect. Of course, there's always more you could learn about being a pilot or an architect. Simplifying the steps involved makes achieving your dreams, goals, projects, or tasks manageable, which lowers your stress level and makes you much more productive. So that's the key there. I have that one underlined. I'd like to share a story about 2 guys, Jason and Roger. Both of them would like to lose weight and get in shape. Jason is well educated and prides himself in his ability to do extensive research and absorb a lot of information. Roger is more practical by nature and usually looks for the quickest path to success. Jason decides to learn everything he can about losing weight and getting fit. For the next 3 months, Jason checks out every book he can find on health and fitness at the library. He registers for a class at the community college and even buys the Encyclopedia of Health at the local bookstore. For at least an hour a night, Jason reads, highlights, and takes notes as if he were studying for a law degree. Roger understands the principle of leverage and is results-driven. He writes down 3 basic steps for getting fit: sweat every day, stretch every day, eat 70% natural, unprocessed, and unpackaged food, fruits and vegetables every day. After 3 months, who do you think has lost the most weight? Who is most fit? Obviously Roger. Who knows more about health and fitness? Probably Jason, but his results stink. Is this starting to make sense? And I love that, and I wanted to share that with you guys as well, because I've heard so many of you guys report that so many people, their responses to you when you share the opportunity is, I don't know what to do. I wouldn't know the first place to start. And they don't have to. Much like, Roger in this example, just start, learn as you go and earn as you learn, right? That's one of the key things in this industry is you get to earn as you learn. So don't wait till all the lights are green to go. Just get started and learn as you go. Reading back here, it says, remember duplication and leverage are keys to a huge beach money income and a beach money lifestyle. Anything hard to figure out or implement will slow down or stop duplication and leverage. Keeping it simple is critical. I like to do the 8-year-old test. If an 8-year-old can't do it or explain it, I don't do it either. So here's the other part of that. I wanted to read that and then share with you the real life 3-step plan in action that he invites us to implement in our daily lives. He said, someone once asked me to write down 3 things that I wanted to accomplish in the next 3 months and post the list where I would see it every day. I made my list and looked at it daily, even though I was not sure how I would actually achieve my 3 goals. But after 3 months, I had accomplished all 3. Here's the game plan for getting what you want in record time. So again, this is one thing I just wanted to share with you guys to implement in your daily lives, in your weekly lives, in your monthly lives, and with your calendar. Step 1, write down 3 things you want to buy or do in the next 3 months. This is the most important step. He provides some examples here. For example, register your kids in a private school, go back to school yourself, hire a housekeeper, buy front row seats to a concert or play that you've always wanted to see, take a hot air balloon ride, take a weekend getaway in the woods, take a trip to Las Vegas, rent a condo on the beach. Nicole and I actually just did that for 4th of July. Amazing. And it would apply to this, writing it down to make it happen. Any of these things, right? So the ground rules are your 3 goals have to get you really excited. So you got to be excited about it. You must be able to do or schedule each item on your list within 3 months. So whether you're able to do it or schedule it within those 3 months, that has to be the case. 3, don't be practical. You have permission to splurge. And number 4, limit the list to just 3 items. You may have 4 or 5 goals you really want to accomplish, but pick your top 3 for now. After you've accomplished those first 3, you can add 3 more to the list. Here's something to consider as you undertake this exercise. Answer this question. Do dogs like bones? Most people would say, yes, dogs like bones. But if I place a steak and a bone on the ground and let the dog choose, which is he more likely to go for? He probably would go for the steak. Dogs don't like bones. Dogs settle for bones, but they salivate over steaks. As you make your list, go for the steak. So again, dream big as you write these things down. And then he goes on to say, and I'm almost done here. I wanted to just read this for those of you who aren't going to pick up the book. This was just a chapter that I thought is highly effective, and it's something that I'm going to implement in my daily and weekly life. He says here, one training seminar I attended suggested that your dreams don't really count until they're on your calendar. In the past, I had hopes and dreams that dragged on for years. I talked about taking a cruise to the Virgin Islands for 15 years. Then I did something very simple. I put it on my calendar. 3 months later, I was on the cruise and enjoying one of the best weeks of my life. So step number 2 is, what actions will you take right away to begin to move you toward these things you will be getting in the next 3 months? Limit your actions to 3 things. What 3 things can you do in the next 3 months to move you toward accomplishing your 3 dreams? So literally write them down. Action items, 3 steps, 1, 2, and 3, that are going to get you closer to accomplishing those 3 dreams that you have listed down as well. And step number 3, this is probably the easiest step, possibly the hardest actually. Expect and allow the universe to provide you with all the resources you need to attain the 3 things you have written down. So this is not a to-do step, it's a releasing step. It's a letting go step. Simply do steps 1 and 2, and then let go of the outcome. Expect good things to happen. So again, it comes down to mindset too, and a belief. My beach money lifestyle comes from breaking down my projects and goals into 3 simple steps. I just do this over and over again. I teach 3 simple steps. I keep it so simple that an 8-year-old can do it and teach it. You will love this because for the first time in your life, everything will become so simple and doable. So again, that was chapter 10. And I didn't mean to come on here and read you a bed story, but again, I saw so much value in that and I just wanted to share it with you. And I didn't want to botch it, I wanted to read it. But again, I invite you to read the whole book. Get the book, Beach Money, by Jordan Adler. And I look forward to having him speak to you guys a little bit later on to close out tomorrow, to close out Celebration. He's got amazing insights. And, you know, one of the things that he says in this book and other chapters goes along with Gary Vee's quote, that there were so many times that quitting or giving up or giving in to what people were saying to him was such a temptation. He went through multiple companies, and I think over 12 years, he was still going at this network marketing thing. And so many people would tell him, you know, only the top distributors win in those pyramid schemes, right? And so he's living proof that they were wrong and that it does take time, dedication, the right mindset, belief, and, you know, tenacity. And look at him now. He's writing this book and he's living, you know, his dreams on the beach. And then I also think about Calvin, someone that we have at our fingertips who is working with us. You know, he had success in 2 companies. The first company, it was not his fault when that went away. And then he joined another company who already had top distributors, had been around, was already successful. Talk about the ability or the thought, the temptation of the thought that, you know, there's no opportunity here, right? Only the top makes the most money. But he came in and look at him now. He's a double diamond in the company, very successful. So he's living proof that it is possible. And again, guys, he's at your fingertips and he's willing to share all those secrets with you guys. And also tune in every week on Smile Connect. Again, it's one of the tools that we've created and that we give and provide to you guys. And he's on there every week giving you guys inspiration. So again, I want to encourage you guys to implement this strategy that Jordan Adler shares here in chapter 10 of Beach Money. I know I'm going to start implementing that, and I look forward to see, you know, what comes my way as I do so, and get intentional about that. So again, one of the last things on my big 3 as a CEO is setting the vision. And, you know, Abraham Maslow asked the question, the basic question is, what vision do you aspire to? And again, I spoke to this a little bit earlier on, but when Nicole came home with that first sample, it was a tank dress and a pair of leggings. I saw the vision. I really did. I pulled out my cell phone and I, you know, was videotaping Lucy in that dress. And again, I remember Nicole asking, what are you doing? And I told her, I'm videotaping this for when it explodes and we can look back in this moment and, you know, basically express gratitude. And so since day one, I've had a huge vision. And when I close my eyes today and I think about Smile, I do envision a $100 million plus company. I really do. I know that that's possible. I know that that takes hard work, and we have a lot of work ahead of us and a lot of growth personally and as a team to develop. But I know that that is possible. And I know that I needed to implement a vision. And again, that's my 3rd priority, is setting the vision. And I've gotten a lot of clarity on what vision is through this book right here. But Beyond Entrepreneurship, this is a book written by Jim Collins. Jim Collins has, you know, written the other great books of Good to Great, Great by Choice, Built to Last, an amazing author. And this book says, turning your business into an enduring great company. And that's also what I want. I don't want a come and go company. I want an enduring company. Again, the ultimate goal, create long-term success for you and your families. I want to build Nicole and I both want to build an enduring company that sees, you know, a lifetime, many, many, many years. And, you know, the number one priority is to catalyze a shared vision. That's what this book really stresses, right? And that's my number one responsibility as a leader, is to catalyze a clear and shared vision for the company and to secure commitment to and vigorous pursuit of that vision. So that's, you know, a direct quote from the book. So that's my priority. That's mine and Nicole's priority as the owners of this company, is to set that vision and, you know, encourage and secure a commitment to and vigorous pursuit of that vision. So really, what is vision? Again, I'm sure there's many new merchandisers on you know, today joining us for Celebration for the first time, and we welcome you. Glad you are here. You know, so vision isn't necessary. The books, you know, Jim mentions, It's not necessary to make money, but if you want to do more than just make a lot of money, if you want to build an enduring great company, then you need a vision. And so this book really outlines what a vision is. And vision is really comprised of three key elements: core values, your purpose, and your mission. And in the book, he breaks it down, right? You can see there the vision, it's your core values, your purpose, and your mission. And I just want to quickly identify how they differ. I know it's been a little while, but again, core values. So core values and beliefs, it's a system of guiding principles and tenets, a philosophy of business and life. So principles that are to be held inviolate, an extension of personal core values and beliefs of leaders of the organization. So when Nicole and I sat down, it was really an extension of us. Like, what are our values and what kind of values do we want to see lived out within the company, both at home office and with the merchandisers? Now, no one is perfect, but these are truly core values that we, adhere to and, try to live each and every day at Smile. Teamwork, working together as a team, optimism, facing challenges with optimism, accountability, we do what we say we will do, respect, we respect everyone, integrity, we act with honesty and integrity, gratitude, we express gratitude in everything we do, quality, we provide high quality products and service, fun, we work hard and have fun doing it, innovation, we innovate with creativity and constant improvement, and 10, empathy, we listen, understand, and genuinely care. So these are the values, that's what they are, and they should be, with the company forever. And then that leads us to our purpose. The purpose here at Smile is, obviously to create smiles and build confidence. We know that. But the difference with purpose, or what purpose is, according to Jim Collins, is the fundamental reason for an organization's existence, right? So our purpose can't just be to make money. We have to have something much bigger than that if we want to see the test of time and be an extraordinary company. But this purpose grows out of core values. So we have our core values, and then from that we kind of derive our purpose. And many of you know, who have been with us since 2017, we worked on this together, and we came up with our purpose of we create smiles and build confidence. And the purpose is different from a mission and it's like a guiding star, always worked towards but never fully attained. So that's the one thing here. It's never fully attained, and think of it as that guiding star always out there on the horizon, but we can't fully capture that. But it's constantly guiding us, and it's not fully attained because we can't create smiles and build confidence in the entire world. We sure as heck can attempt to do so. But this should serve as a guide for the company for 100+ years. And it's non-differentiating. And the companies that share this purpose with us, those are the companies that you should partner up with. And that's where you see us doing that with, the charities that we team up with, because we share one purpose of really creating smiles and building confidence in kids. And then there's our mission. So our mission is to dominate the children's clothing market and the direct selling space by 2023. And, we've talked about a Matterhorn mission, which is a $100 million mission. I've been talking with Hal, and, he's been there, done that. And as I really think about it from where we stand, the more I think about it, the more I think that the Matterhorn mission is a $100 million mission, but I also think it's a big, hairy, audacious goal from where we currently stand. And I'm not shying away from it, but what I do think is I think we need to welcome a mountain in front of that. Another mission that we need to obtain before we hit $100 million. When a merchandiser comes into the business, they don't immediately look to the dreamer mountain, right? First things first, the first step is achiever. So I think that I'm thinking about this, but I think that we should have a mission in front of the Matterhorn mission. I think that really is kind of a big, hairy, audacious goal. I do, like I just said, I do know that it is possible. But again, a mission's time-bound, and I think the mission being a 3 to 5 year mission, I think something maybe more along the lines of $50 million would be good to aim for and hit first. And then we can duplicate that with $100 million and take our momentum and leverage that and really get up the Matterhorn mission rather quickly. But again, as he mentions here, Jim Collins, a mission is a bold, compelling, audacious goal. So again, 50 million is bold. It's compelling and audacious. 100 million is very audacious, big and hairy. It's a big, hairy, audacious goal. It's the BHAG. So again, that's what's got me thinking lately about, maybe we focus on, a different mountain first and conquering that, and then focusing on our big, hairy, audacious goal of $100 million. I definitely know it is possible. But the mission, how it differentiates from the purpose and the core values, it has a clear finish line and a specific time frame. Like I mentioned, a 3 to 5 year mission. I don't know if that is the Matterhorn mission, to be honest with you. Again, to Gary Vee's point here, you can't get 30 years of results from 30 minutes of work. 100 million, I don't know if that comes in the next 3 to 5 years or if it's beyond that. But I do feel confident when I do think about 50 million in the next 3 to 5 years. And dominating the kids' clothing market, I don't believe is tied to gross revenue, to be honest with you. I already feel like we are kind of dominating the kids' clothing market with our trends. Nicole as, the creative designer. We have an amazing team who really executes on her vision. So I do feel like we're already doing that. But again, a mission has a clear finish line and a specific time frame. Once completed, a new mission is set. So that's what has me thinking lately that, the Matterhorn as it stands right now is kind of a big, hairy, audacious goal. Maybe we, set our sights on a lower level mountain, maybe like the Grand Teton mission. I'm kind of just putting that out there. I'm speaking as I go. But Nicole and I have been in Wyoming lately, and we were right there at the base of the Tetons, beautiful mountains. Wyoming is so gorgeous, you guys. And I just thought about it, and I thought, its elevation is less than the Matterhorn, not by too much, but it is less than, so it would make sense. So I'm kind of proposing, maybe a new mission, the Grand Teton mission of, $50 million, which ultimately we would need, more than 5,000 merchandisers. So, but again, in order to get there, we must work together as a team. Teamwork's a core value, and again, one of the things I liked as team that I learned at my last job was the acronym for team is together everybody achieves more. And that is so true. As you've seen lately, the field working together as a team, what it's produced is new ranks, more merchandisers in the business. So that's what it's going to take to really climb up that mountain, even a $50 million mountain. So this has been happening. You guys have been utilizing Calvin, working with your teams to achieve new ranks, responsible recruiting, as Calvin's been preaching. And again, I'd just like to encourage you guys to reach out to Calvin, utilize him with your teams, get together, have your teams get together on a Zoom with him. He really is a wealth of knowledge, and he's here to help you guys succeed. And that's something that Nicole and I wanted to provide to you guys, was someone who has that firsthand experience in the field as a distributor, regardless of the product or company, someone who's been there, done that, and can share the secrets of success and what it really takes to win. And he's doing that. So if you haven't utilized him, please do so. And again, purpose, I kind of hit on it. We create smiles and build confidence, as you guys know. Really what I want you guys, if this vision really comes together, it would really be, you guys, when someone asks you what you do, you don't say, I sell kids clothing. You basically say, we sell confidence and we create smiles. We create smiles, we build confidence, and by the way, I sell kids clothing. And again, I just want to stress that we are better today than we were yesterday. As a company, you guys as a field, as merchandisers, you guys are blowing our minds with this growth that we've been experiencing. Thank you so much. There's so much ahead of us, but we will conquer. We'll do it together. That's the only way, is working together as a team. And I did want to leave with one last quote. This one's from Kobe as well. It says, "This is the moment I accept that the most challenging times will always be behind me and in front of me. The moment you give up is the moment you let someone else win." So I share that to understand, really myself and you guys included, because again, we're in this together, that there are going to be difficult times ahead. We've had them in the past. There are going to be difficult times ahead, but also the minute we give up is the minute we let someone else win. Again, I want to encourage you to pick up Beach Money and read that. He speaks directly to the distributor, and that's one thing Jordan Adler did, is he never gave up. And look where he is today. He's got residual income. Again, he named the book Beach Money, and that comes from firsthand experience. So pick it up, read from it, apply its principles. Again, I wanted to share with you chapter 10. It's really amazing. I'm going to implement that in my own, weekly life. And ultimately, guys, together, the ultimate goal here is long-term success for you and your families. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank you for all your hard work, your dedication, your belief in yourself. When Nicole shared with me her idea about Dot Dot Smile back in 2013, there was this immediate belief in it because I believed in her. And then when the product was born, I believed in the product. And then in 2016, I believed in us. I believed in her and myself as a team. I believed in the product. I believed in the brand. And today, in 2020, I believe in you. I believe in you guys as merchandisers and as our field. Again, we love you guys. We thank you guys. And we are in awe of what you guys have been doing this year. It's amazing what can be done sometimes when you feel like your back's against the wall. Keep working as though your back is against the wall constantly, because amazing things will happen. Again, just want to express gratitude and end on that we love you guys. Our ultimate goal is that long-term success for you and your families, and for this to be an enduring company that sees the long haul. Let's do that together, and let's commit to that. So again, thank you guys. Thank you to all the merchandisers who prepared speeches and are sharing their knowledge and the experiences that they've learned firsthand in this business with others. If you're new to this business, take everything you learn, write it down, and act on it. Put it into action, and it will serve you well. Love you guys. Enjoy the rest of Celebration. Again, wish that we could be doing this face-to-face, but I'm confident that time will soon come. Sooner or later, we'll be together again, celebrating all our achievements together in person. So until then, Nicole and I wish you guys the best and wish you well and much success out there in the field. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Wow, Jeff, thank you so much for sharing such a powerful message of unity with all of us. Our next speaker is a believer with Dot Dot Smile. She's a California girl, born and raised, lives on the Central Coast with her husband, Nick, and their 2 kids. Prior to becoming a stay-at-home mom, she worked as a social worker for 7 years. And other than her family, she says her favorite things are country music, true crime podcasts, and a good glass of wine. The truth is, you can succeed with your Dot Dot Smile business as a full-time entrepreneur, or you can use it as a part-time gig. So it's really your choice. But next, you're going to hear from one of those merchandisers who went all in and made the leap once she realized this business was a serious passion. Tia Coughlin is going to share with you the hows and the whys of that life-changing decision.
Hey Dot Dot Smile family, my name's Tia Coughlin, and today I'm going to talk to you about going all in, how I was able to quit my day job and live life on my terms. First of all, I just want to say that I'm super excited to be speaking at this virtual convention. I wish that we were all together for Celebration. The events that Dot Dot Smile puts on are so much fun, but obviously 2020 had other plans, and hopefully we can all be together again soon. So first I'm going to start out by telling you guys a little bit about me. I live on the Central Coast of California with my husband Nick and my 2 kids. I have Ezra, he's 6, and my daughter Eliana, she's 4. So I joined Dot Dot Smile in January of 2017. I had no expectations whatsoever. I was not familiar with direct sales. I had no sales experience at all. And I had 2 little kids, a super busy husband, and a very demanding full-time job. But I completely fell in love with the product and the company, and I was making money doing something fun, and even though I had no clue what I was doing, I was super eager to learn. I was watching other women sell Dot Dot Smile. I was taking all the online classes I could find. I even went to a 4-day conference with a good friend from another company just to learn and be inspired by others. So at this point, I was amazed by the whole direct sales world, and I loved Dot Dot Smile. I dove in headfirst. I worked my butt off. I was working before work, during my lunch break, after work, after my kids were in bed. And so for 2 years, I was spread really thin. My husband had started a new job that was supposed to be better hours, but, spoiler alert, it was not. I dreamed and dreamed about quitting my job. I was missing out on life with my kids, and so was my husband. And so something had to change. And while I knew what choice I wanted to make, I was terrified. I was terrified of failure. I knew that I didn't want to work at my job anymore. I knew that I could make money selling ... Smile, but I also knew that there was a chance I wouldn't be able to do it, that it would fizzle out. I wouldn't be good at it anymore. So I was terrified of failing. So a little backstory on my job. After college, I went straight into a career at social services, and I was successful. I loved helping people. I had a stable paycheck. I was promoting there. There was no reason for me to leave, except I was not happy. I was not happy being away from my kids so much. I was not happy being emotionally exhausted at the end of the day. And so I asked for advice from my family and friends about what I should do. And when I told them that I was considering leaving my job and selling ... Smile full time, they looked at me like I was crazy. So I pushed that dream aside. I was like, they must be right. This is super irresponsible. I can't do it. So I pushed it aside. My dream was to be more present and available for my family, and I was like, I guess that's just not going to happen. And I even briefly contemplated leaving ... Smile just because I knew that something had to go off of my plate. Something had to give. So here I am, January 2019. I finally realized that I could have some control over my life. I'm still stressed out at work. I'm missing out on being with my kids more. I knew that something had to give. Prior to that, I thought that I did not have control. That these were the things I was meant to do. I was supposed to keep this job. Like so much of the country does. I was supposed to go to work, take care of my kids. We were a 2-income family. Living in California is not cheap. So I knew that we had to have another income in the household besides just my husband's. So just quitting my job was not an option. So I asked myself, am I happy? I was like, yeah, well, my kids and my husband, my family make me happy. I love selling ... Smile. That makes me happy. And more importantly, I sat down and asked myself, do I love my life, or am I just comfortable where I'm at? And the answer definitely was that I was just comfortable. And I can tell you right now that great outcomes and great rewards do not come from staying in your comfort zone. They don't come from being comfortable. So what made me finally take the leap? My motivation, as I've said in here before, my husband and my family. My husband and my kids were super supportive. Obviously my kids are 4 and 6, so they wanted mommy home more. My husband told me, you can do this. You jumped into this and had no idea what you were doing, and you taught yourself and you learned from other people, and anybody can do this. You can do it. So how did I finally feel ready to make this huge change? I didn't. I was not ready. But if you're watching and you think that I have some secret to being prepared, I have no secret. If you wait until you're ready to do something or to make a big change, if you wait until you feel comfortable, it's never going to happen. You're never going to be ready. You have to push that fear aside and really go for it. So I'm going to share a few tips with you that if somebody had shared with me back when I was struggling with this decision, would have helped me make it so much faster. And I do wish that I had done this sooner. I wasted time that I didn't need to waste. I missed out on a lot of things. And while I don't regret the journey that I've been on, I hope that if this is something that you're thinking about doing, or there's changes that you want to make, I hope that you take these pieces of advice and are able to make this decision a lot faster than I was. So the first thing that's really important, don't compare yourself to others. Your story is 100% yours. I'm not here talking to you today because I have the biggest team in Smile, or because I'm always on those top sales lists, or because I'm a great recruiter. Those are great things to strive for if that's what you want, but don't let those things intimidate you. You cannot compare your journey as somebody starting out new to somebody who started 3 years ago. And even if you started 3 years ago and there's somebody who started out and is new and is doing better than you, you can't compare that either. You don't know what their background is, what their story is. Focus on you. Your journey is unique, and comparison is the thief of joy. So just don't do it. So number 2, this was a huge turning point for me when I started thinking of my needs and wants as non-negotiables. So decide what your non-negotiables are. When I left my job, not only could I not lose income, I wasn't willing to give up a lot of things. So my husband was telling me, we can cut our budget here or there, but I wasn't willing to give some of those things up. Traveling with my family is really important to me, and keeping my kids in private school is really important to me. So I said, those are my non-negotiables. I'm not willing to give up those things if I quit my job. So I knew that Smile had to replace that income. Everyone's non-negotiables are going to be different, but if you write them down and tell yourself that these things are not optional, it makes them so much more powerful. You have to do them. They are non-negotiable. You cannot give them up. So if you treat them like that, they really hold power. The third thing is, what are you good at? Where is your strong point? For me, it was personal sales. For someone else, it might be team commissions. And for another person, it could be website sales. Don't feel like you have to have everything dialed in before you make a change. Focus on what generates the most income for you, and then expand your skill set as you have time. I was in the position when I first started where I was so hungry and eager to learn that I kind of, dipped my toes in everywhere, and it was a little overwhelming. Focus on what you are already good at, and then expand from there once you're in a better spot. The fourth thing is going to be goals versus plans. For me, this was another huge one. I had made plenty of lists of goals. I want to rank. I want to sell this many dresses this month. I want to recruit this many new people. And the key word for me there was want. So those are things I wanted to do. But once I sat down and made a plan of how I could replace the income from my job and labeled it as a need, it made a huge difference. I divided out my plan by week, so it was simple for me. It's going to look different for everyone, but I needed to sell X amount of dresses per week. If I was going on vacation or I was going to take a few days off, which is the beauty of the business, I knew that I had to sell those dresses in a different week. So I had to sit down and adjust my plan. But I knew that the bottom line was there was a number for me to reach. And if I wasn't reaching that number by the end of the week, I needed to go live. I needed to go reach out to people. I needed to go look on some mommy groups. I knew that that plan had to happen. Last but not least, I want to tell you that you should not let small minds convince you that your dreams are too big. You can do anything you set your mind to. And so to wrap it up, I'm going to tell you, feel the fear of the unknown and the scary decisions, but do it anyway. It's okay to be afraid, but do it. Take that leap. Surround yourself with people who support you and your vision for your life. Anyone can do this. Let go of the fear and embrace the freedom. Thank you.
All right, Tia, thank you so much for sharing that powerful message of how to make ... Smile your full-time hustle. Next up, we've got Courtney and Stephanie, both from Lexington, Kentucky, who are the sisters behind their growing business, Kentucky Twirl. They've been with ... Smile since June of 2017. Courtney is a preschool teacher who says she loves what she does, and Stephanie is a stay-at-home mom whose heart is set on owning her own successful business to show her daughter that you truly can have it all. When it's warm outside, you can find them playing sports and being active. They fell in love with ... Smile because they saw a business opportunity that they could do together. They love their customers and have a passion for getting to know them and who they love to shop for. They love to share their knowledge and passion for this business and their customers. They're so excited to be able to start their journey and share it with you today. We've all heard the news or read about it in our feeds, especially during these uncertain times, that a home-based business happens to be the one that can thrive. So when what's happening around our world lets a little panic creep in, you can find what works today in business. So Steph Berkebile and Courtney Cheney want to tell you how being able to pivot during these times will help you grow through it instead of just go through it.
Hi, I'm Courtney Cheney.
And I'm Stephanie Berkebile, and we are the girls of Kentucky Twirl. We have been selling Smile for a little over 3 years. We started because I was tired of sitting at home on my butt as a stay-at-home mom. I was ready to get back into the workforce, but I also didn't want to leave my daughter, so it was this really hard decision to make. And luckily we found Smile. I shouldn't say we. Courtney found Smile and said, hey, let's do it. Because Courtney really liked the idea as a teacher of getting that second income just to help with fun things. We are so honored to be training you guys today. We never thought we would be here, never thought we would be training. I remember thinking, oh man, I really want to be up there. And so when we got the email from Heather, we were floored. We were so excited. So basically what we want to do is we want to give you just a little bit of, tell you a little bit about our favorite things and kind of how everything has changed. We first started doing vendor events with one rack and fell in love immediately. We're like, oh man, if we can sell this many with one rack, imagine if we had a whole boutique. So here we are doing that. And then we also fell in love with in-home parties. We love to see the girls in dresses, and that's one of the best ways to get them in there. However, with all of the coronavirus shutdowns and everything like that, we pretty much saw all of that slipping away and said, okay, like we've got to do something. Where are we at? So we had to come up with a new game plan. And so we are going to be talking about flexibility in your business and learning how to pivot. And so when we first heard that we were going to be talking about pivoting, we had two thoughts. We had basketball and Ross from Friends yelling pivot as they're trying to move the couch. So instead of just standing up here and yelling pivot, we decided we'd go with a basketball theme to give you guys a little bit of taste into what we see as super important.
So growing up, I mean, obviously we're from Kentucky, and I'm sure most of you know Kentucky's a huge basketball state. So growing up, we both played all the time, and the one thing that both of us took away from that is do not ever pick up your dribble. Unfortunately, sometimes you're forced to do it. So what are you going to do? What will that next move be?
We are going to give you 3 steps or choices. So the first one is you call a timeout. So we just want you to understand that this is not quitting. This is saying, okay, I've picked up my dribble. There's nothing I can do. I've got to figure out what I'm doing before I take my next step. Timeout. So once you take that timeout, you want to take a step back. You want to reconnect with your family, reconnect with your community, and then as soon as you've done that, you want to hit hard with your Smile family. You want to say, hey, this is where I'm at, I'm not sure what to do. Just really lean in on your teammates and your leaders. You want to watch trainings, and then you want to rewatch them, and then you want to watch them again, because each time you watch them, you'll take something different away from it. But remember, a timeout is not as long as you want it to be. It is a brief break. In basketball, it's 30 seconds or 60 seconds. Do not take a long time with this. You need to ask for help. There is no shame in asking for help when you don't know what your next step is, because chances are somebody has been there before. You don't want to let the fear of trying something new and failing at it keep you from trying that thing that might make you the most successful you've ever been.
And kind of just to kind of go off of that, like we mentioned earlier, fairs and festivals and in-home parties, not only were they our favorite thing, but literally 50% of our income through Smile was coming through those. And so once, we realized that we were going to be in a shutdown and we weren't going to be able to do a lot of the things that we did to generate revenue, we kind of had to take a little time out. We had to step back and say, oh my goodness, like, what's our next step going to be? Like, where are we going to go from here? We had always just relied on those events and those in-home parties to kind of carry us through. We kept up our Facebook group, but it never was our main focus. Our main focus was always those things that we were taking our items to. It was always about letting people see it, touch it, feel it. And so when that stopped and we took our time out, we just had to make a decision. Were we going to let our most successful tool ruin us? Or were we going to find another way to be successful? So obviously we chose the latter because nobody wants to just give up. And so the things that we did to help us with that was we relied heavily on trainings and support from our upline and our teammates, and also from Calvin.
Okay, so I just really want to reiterate this. A timeout means you've taken the time, you've toweled off, you've taken a drink, you formed a game plan, and you're ready to step back onto the court and return to the game. So my question for you, are you ready with a supportive game plan? And if not, are you ready to make one? Have you been in a timeout for too long? Like, I'm talking like brief, you guys, just enough time to do these things you're looking at. You're not saying, I'm gonna step away from my business to take a timeout. You're saying, I'm going to create a better business by taking a timeout. Are you afraid to ask for help? There's no shame in asking for help, and it is how you grow. And if you have a team, are you leading your team and offering support?
So the second step that we would say is, you've made it back into the game from that timeout. You're dribbling down the court and the pressure's on, but you're forced to stop again. You're too far out to go ahead and take your shot, so you have to make an outlet pass. An outlet pass, that means you're throwing the ball. For us, we threw it to our customers, and I 100% recommend it. So I'm a firm believer that you just have to let people know where you're at. So we, made a vulnerable post, and I highly recommend that. Share things with your group. Be open and honest with your group. Just maybe not so open and honest that you scare them away. Take a deep breath. Rush back down the court. By sharing your wins, goals, and struggles, you're letting your customers in. Instead of just having friends that you've turned into customers, you want to make customers from your group that you turn into friends.
And so I want to talk a little bit about how you do that, and pretty much the fruit that can come from turning your customers into your friends and not just your friends into your customers. I want to take 2 examples from my personal life with Smile and how that's really benefited me. We have this amazing customer. Her name is Erin. And by amazing, I mean she hosts 4 parties for us a year, like 1 each season. And a beautiful little girl, Brielle, who is about the same age as my daughter, Steele. And so we did a party. We got Brielle and Steele together for their very first play date. And, you know, I didn't really know what was going to come of it, but I was like, oh, this is great. I don't have many friends with kids the same age as my daughter. And so now we go to birthday parties. We have play dates. We go play in their backyard, just any, like, I mean, not now, but we did before all of this happened. And so it was really nice to see a customer turn into a friend, which then in turn turned her into an even better customer. And then the second example I want to talk to you about is my husband and I are foster parents. And I know there are some of you out there, so like shout out to the foster parents, but it is hard, and you need that support. And so when we first started our foster parent journey, we didn't have the support that we thought we would have just from other foster parents because we didn't know anybody. We had a party for one of our customers who just happened to invite somebody who is another foster parent, and we got to talking. She'd been a foster parent for years, has experience that I don't have, and now we talk almost every day, and she is actually like my official foster parent mentor. So just an example, like let your customers turn into your friends, because it will not only enrich your life but their life.
And by allowing your customers to emotionally connect with you, you're going to build a base outside of your typical friend group where you can get more love and more support. And but your customers feel like they can do that too. They're not going to be afraid to message you if there's a problem. You know, they might even want to share personal information with you, and that's totally fine, especially if you're trying to make them be your friend. So we threw the outlet pass and we ran down the court. And now we're getting into scoring position, and the ball's coming right back at us.
All right, so you've got the ball. We're here. Like, this is it. You've taken steps 1, you've taken steps 2, you're here. This is your third and final spot. You're taking your shot. You're not gonna do it halfway because you're fearful, because you've already got those trainings, you've got your support from not only your leaders, but you've turned your customers into friends. So everybody is backing you and cheering you on. You're gonna be confident. You're gonna push forward, and you're not going to relent. Like, you are there, you're doing it, like game-winning shot right here. Wayne Gretzky says you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And this is fear. Fear holds you back from that. So don't be afraid to shoot and miss. Everybody is unique in this business. No two boutiques are the same way, ran the same way, but there are similar components. So I want everybody to understand that you are not comparing yourself to somebody in the way that they do something, because even if you try to, you would do it differently, because what makes you makes your boutique different.
So I want you to take this moment. If you don't already have a piece of paper or something to write with, go ahead and grab that. And we're going to do something a little interactive. So it's going to be really fun, I promise. So what I'm going to be asking you to do is to just take a minute, and I want you to write down 3 things that make you you. Those things that are completely unique about you, that you just think like, this makes me me.
Yes.
And I know it's a little difficult, so try your best. I had trouble writing my own 3 down. So,
Me too.
And these things are not going to be things that are special about your business. These things just need to be things that are special about you. So I don't have a watch, but I'm going to, well, she has a watch. So we're going to give you about 60 seconds. And once that's up, then we're going to kind of move forward.
Okay. I wish there needs to be like music or something while you're doing this. And don't worry if you don't get 3 down. It is okay. Just do as many as you can.
If you're watching the video, we're sisters. That's why we can share the same drink.
All right, we're coming up on about 15 more seconds.
Okay. All right. So now that you've been writing them down, if you've not finished, go ahead and finish writing those. But we want to talk about how can you make those things that you wrote down work for your business. Stephanie and I had already written ours down before we got started. So I'm just going to kind of go over mine. I'm going to talk about how I made them work for my business. It might give you some pointers on things, maybe if you couldn't come up with some unique things that are unique about you, or just how you can make yours work. So the first thing I put down is that I'm innately a teacher. I'm a teacher my whole life. All I've done is teach. I still do it all the time now. I tried to teach us during the during when we were writing our speech. But the way that we turned that into a positive win for our group was during the COVID outbreak. I was able to share some of the videos that I was making for my class with people in our group, because I teach preschool. We have a lot of preschool age kids in our group, and that was just, kind of, I don't want to say it was my way to give back, but it was just like I don't know, it was something that was just natural for me. The second thing, I play kickball like 3 times a week. So our group knows that chances are at least once during the week I'm going to get on a live and I'm going to be sweaty and I'm going to have my kickball jersey on. At first we were like, oh no, we can't get on because we might not look cute. But you know what? They really don't care.
No,
and they ask about it. Did you win the game? Did you have fun? Did you, So it's just like another little stepping stone of how we can connect with our customers. And the third is that I'm easygoing. And by that, I mean like really easygoing. Like I'm always willing to try something new. I am willing to do any part of the business that Stephanie doesn't like to do. I'll do it. So those are just kind of the things that work for me and the things that I bring to the business.
Were you just calling me out?
I mean, there are things that you don't like to do, and I do.
Okay, so I wrote my 3 things down as well. The first one I wrote down is that I'm a relational person. If you have met me, I want to know you. I want you to feel comfortable coming to me to tell me the good and the bad. I want to be like a part of your life, and I want to be able to help you. And so obviously we have talked about turning customers into friends, and that's a really good way that I utilize that unique thing about me. The second one is I fight for what I believe in. I 100%, we wouldn't be up here talking if we did not 100% believe in ourselves, in this business, and this brand. And me personally, and her too, but I am willing to fight for it, like bend over backwards, do whatever it takes. Like I'm in it to win it. I'm here for this. And then the third one is I like to be center stage. Courtney's laughing because I have literally been this way my entire life. But so it works out really well. I like to be in the spotlight. So Courtney gave me a challenge, and she said, hey, we have a bunch of things on this rack that we've had for over a year. I challenge you to sell half in 2 days. 38 items is what I needed to sell in 2 days. You know what? I didn't mind being center stage, and I used that to my advantage, and I ended up selling over 50 of them.
And so when you're getting ready to take that shot, what you're going to do is you're going to take a look at your customers. So we have 3 categories of what we consider our customers. The first customers that we lump in are our regular customers. The regular customers are those ones who get on every live. They talk to you every live. They might make multiple purchases a week, definitely multiple purchases a month. And they're just buying to support you. So whether or not you could show something that's not their favorite print, and they're going to want a new dress and they're going to buy it even though it's not necessarily their cup of tea. We have our second category that we like to call the grazers, and these people are here. They might purchase once or twice a month, but they are looking for that print. They want to buy the specific thing, and if you don't have it, they're probably going to just keep on scrolling. But if you do have it, then they'll probably buy from you. And our third group of customers, and this is honestly the big bulk of our customers in our group, we call them on the fringe. So they're people who are in the group. They might watch a live here and there. They're probably not going to comment. They might like a post every once in a while, but they're going to show up for your launches. They're excited. They're excited when you get the swim in. They're excited when you get the 4th of July collection. Yeah. They want to be there for that, and they want to see what's new coming out of that box.
Okay, so now you have your 3 categories of customers, and you can take your time after this and kind of lump your customers. You're like, oh, hey, I know her, and she's going to buy every single box I get. She goes here. Just think about it. You know where your customers are. So what motivates them? That's what you have to figure out, because each customer base is different. And so personally, for our customer base, what motivates them is giveaways. They really like interactive things where they are working towards something or the hope of something. So recently we started doing giveaways to kind of figure out what our customers like, and our customers really like purses. So Kate Spade is huge in Kentucky. We found a gorgeous Kate Spade, like I want to carry it myself, purse. And we just gave them different ways that they can enter, and we have been able to see the on the fringe people, or even below that, you know, the people who are just in your group and don't do anything, have come forward and have moved. So this is a way to get your on the fringe up to your grazers and your grazers up to your regulars, because you want to make that regulars as big as you can, because then you just kind of, every box you're going to turn over, the more regulars you can get. You want to have incentives. So we offered free shipping during the entire shutdown because we knew that some people didn't want to get out. And we also knew that it was just something easy we could do to help ease the burden on them. And then we offer style boxes, and these are great in our group. They're themed, so 1 month it's music, 1 month it's summer, 1 month it's planting. I think we did plants 1 month too. So it's a continuous thing. You offer it every month, and they find out they love it, and then they keep coming back. And so that's how you get them to bump up into that next level of customer.
And so basically, I know that we've kind of given you a lot to digest right here at the end, but just a little bit more to think about. Are you at the point where you need to take a time out and redo your game plan? Are you ready to make an outlet pass and connect with your customers? Or are you ready to take that shot and put it all together?
Thank you, Steph and Courtney, for teaching us how to be able to pivot during uncertain times in our business. Our next speaker is a creator and a stay-at-home mom to Caleb and Abby, and a wife to her husband, Paul, who lives in a small town just north of Atlanta, Georgia. She's grateful to have been a merchandiser for almost 3 years and to be able to work this business full-time from the comfort of her own home. Over the past 3 years, she says she's made friends that have become family and has loved every second of it. While she wishes she was with everyone for this event, she's thrilled to be here virtually with you all today. We all know that in business, a priority is to become profitable as soon as possible so that your business remains sustainable. Of course, we all know that an upfront investment is necessary, but unless you learn how to protect your profit margin, you'll be fighting an uphill battle. So our next speaker, Katie Graham, is going to share with you how you can make this crucial business key easier to understand.
My name is Katie Graham, and I am a creator in Sugar Hill, Georgia. I live here with my husband and 2 kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I run my Smile business full-time from my house. I absolutely love it. And prior to that, and being a stay-at-home mom, I actually was in retail management full-time. That was my job. I loved it. It was my career. I was with Target for just over 11 years as a manager, and I worked in the children's clothing departments, boys and girls. After I left Target, I was a store manager for Claire's for a few years. And then when we moved here just over 7 years ago, my husband and I started a little side business online, as I had just become a stay-at-home mom when we moved here. And we ran that completely via social media, which has been very helpful for me with my business with Smile as well. We obviously closed that up because Smile was doing so well, which is awesome. But it really helped me. Each of those steps helped me to learn about what we're going to talk about today, and that's profit margin and how that can really make or break your business. What is profit margin? I'm sure some of you guys are like, obviously, Katie, hello, but let's talk about it. Let's break it down a little bit. So profit margin is the income that you make after the expenses that are attributed to the item that you're selling. So some examples of expenses could be your PayPal fees or your Square fees if you use Square, the cost of the actual item, any extras that you might add to your package, your shipping supplies, your time, all of that counts towards the expense for that item, okay? It's really easy to get caught up in the quick sale, but let's look at some examples of how that might potentially negatively impact you. Before we go any further, I really want to make sure that you guys are understanding where I'm coming from. I am in no way saying that you should never have a sale. Everybody's going to do that from time to time. But what we're going to be talking about is how doing it too often can negatively impact the culture of your business. All right, let's get started. So the first example we're going to talk about today is Subway. I'm sure everyone watching has been there one time or another, and probably most of you guys remember that catchy jingle about the $5 footlong. Now, while that initially helped their sales when they first launched that back in 2007, they started to slowly see a decline in profitability. Why is that? Because the cost of their supplies was growing. So what started out as a $4.72 sale for them, that's how much it cost them initially when they were doing the $5 footlong, it grew by over $1 for their cost. So they were losing almost $1 every time they sold a $5 footlong. That resulted in them having to close over 1,000 stores, and eventually they did have to raise the price of the item to $6. This just happened last fall, actually, and the impact on social media was massive. People were so upset because they had grown accustomed to paying one price. The next example that we're going to talk about is Kohl's. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been there before. They have great stuff, and this is nothing against Kohl's, but they definitely have a culture of discounts. You go there and you know if you see an item, maybe you see a purse and it's full price, you're probably going to put it back because you know that you can come back with your Kohl's Cash or it'll be on sale in a few weeks. You don't want to create that culture within your business. You don't want somebody to say, oh, well, she got a new box, but if I wait another week, she's going to give me Smile Cash and free shipping. Okay? It's all about your mindset. We tend to discount items because the item has aged in our mind, but it's really important to think of it from the customer's perspective. They're not necessarily watching your first live sale with that item, or even your second or third. You're never really going to be sure of how many times they've seen that item or if they've seen it at all. So always try to sell from the perspective of the customer and be thinking with the mindset of bringing new customers in all the time. All right, some other ways that excessive sales could potentially impact your business. When you offer a discount, what does it say? Especially if you're discounting a new item. It says to the customer that you don't believe in what you're selling. You don't believe that it's worth the price point that it is, and that devalues it for customers. So you're showing your cards too soon. And that can be off-putting to customers as well. It makes them lose confidence in you because they don't think you stand behind what you sell, and you never want that to happen. If you do this too often, you're setting that precedent for them to not expect to pay retail. You always want to think big picture. Is this going to help me today, but will it hurt me tomorrow? Or will it hurt me 2 weeks from now? Or if I stick to my guns and protect my profit margin because I know that taking $5 out of my pocket for that quick sale might hurt me later on. Are you guys still with me? I hope so. Also, if customers see excessive discounts, they could start to hold out. They could say, you know what? Well, on Thursdays, she does wall drops and she does a free item with everything plus free shipping. So I'm just going to wait until she does that. $5 here and there really adds up. Free shipping on everything really adds up. When you think about $3 to $4 for one item to ship and 10 things, that's $40. That's your gas bill. Okay, think of it like that. Think of it in tangible ways that's going to really stick to you, and that will help you if you're kind of pulling back. Another thing that you can do to really help you is to go live a lot. Some of you guys are probably already doing this, but some of you might not be. I know we've had a lot of new merchandisers over the last few months, which is so exciting. And this part might be scary to you. You might be thinking, I can't go live. I can't do that. That sounds so scary. At the end of the day, it's important to remember that when you're going live, it's just you looking at your phone and you're just talking to yourself. But to give you some perspective on me, you guys see me, I'm a creator, I have an awesome team and I love them so much. But I will tell you, you're probably watching my 25th take of this. When I go live to my team, I get nervous and I have to psych myself up for 5 or 10 minutes before I do it. That happens to a lot of people. So if you're one of those people, Believe me, you're not alone. And I promise you, it does get easier. Just figure out what makes it better for you. Calvin said one time during a training with my team that having familiar scents around you will help. So right now I have a lavender candle next to me. So anyway, I digress. Going live a lot really helps you because you're helping those customers see yourself, see your personality, but also to see your excitement and your belief in that product. Showing them that dress and talking about how beautiful it is and how excited you are and that it's your favorite dress you've had in that entire box or even the entire last month. That will help you in the long run. You're building those relationships with customers, and that's going to drive your sales consistently. Also, it's going to help them to spread the word about your business for you. All right. In that same respect, excessive deals can make the conversation become about price, and that is not what you want to do. You don't want to have to worry about going live and having a live sale, and the first question people ask is not, what do you have in 5-6? It's, what's the price on everything today? Because that changes the entire mood. If you make the sales constantly about the product, about how amazing these dresses are, about how beautiful the fabrics are, about how it's going to create smiles and build confidence within their children, that's how you build those relationships. Then you know when one of your regulars comes on, you can pull that dress out of the box and say, I got the perfect dress in for your child. It's her favorite color and her favorite style, and I thought of you immediately when I got it in. That's a much better and more productive conversation to have than talking about how low you can make the deal for them. Because not only are they excited that you've given them that amazing service, everybody else on your live is seeing you do that too. And that's why people will come back to you over and over again. Again, think big picture. Maybe if you marked it down a few dollars, you might flip it faster, but maybe that customer wouldn't come back. If you continue to focus on that personal sales, they're going to come back over and over again because you're making them feel important and you're building that confidence in them as well. You always want to focus on the value. Make that the number one priority always. What can that add to their life? It'll create smiles and build confidence within their daughter. I know when I look at my daughter, when she picks out a new dress, for example, I let her pick a dress yesterday, and she picked that new Empire, the green with the little dandelions and the smiley faces, and she could not stop twirling and could not stop talking about how happy the flowers were on her dress. I'm sure a lot of you guys are smiling at that because you probably relate to it. How can we help a child feel that way? And that's what we should be thinking about when we get a box. Who's going to love this dress? Who can I make smile when they put this dress on? Okay? Make that be the conversation, not the price. What are some different ways we can do that within our groups? Showcasing modeled pictures, talking about how well the dresses wash. I have yet to find something that doesn't wash out of my daughter's dresses and my son's clothing as well. His joggers and his t-shirts wash so unbelievably well, hold their shape, and keep the same softness. And that is a huge selling point, especially if you're a boy mama like me. Caleb, prior to the boys collection launching, he would wear through pants so quickly, and he's got stuff that he got from our first launch in October, and he wears it every single day, and it looks brand new. That is a huge selling point for people. Also, easy for kids to get ready. Maybe they're parents who are super on the go. The kids have to go to daycare. Mom has to go to work and she has to travel far. That's something that's good too. Their kids can go and pick out their clothes all on their own and feel super excited about what they're putting on and wearing. Also, in that same respect, focus on those fun designs. We're constantly seeing new innovation coming from Nicole and from Michelle, and these new and exciting designs are so popular with these kids. My daughter loves going through every single box with me, as I'm sure yours do too. Focus on that. Know your target audience and constantly build on it. Spending excessive time on a buy-sell trade can actually take away from your income because your time is valuable. Instead, like we were talking about before, continue to focus on building those customer relationships because that is going to be your key. Showing your excitement about those things is so infectious. Continue to do that and continue to engage with your customers. Be consistent. When they see you being consistent, showing up every week live with a new box, having an album sale every week with your inventory, posting wall drops. They're going to see that excitement. They're going to feel that excitement. And that's going to help your profits as well because they're going to show up. You want to encourage your customers to talk to each other. So that relationship building, again, is so huge because the more they get to know each other, the more they're all going to show up when you go live and be talking about, oh, wow, that dress would be so cute on your daughter. Oh, wait, our daughters could twin, whatever the case may be. So those things are super important. The last thing that I want to talk about really quickly is hostess parties. I know we're going to have an amazing training from Andrea, and I'm super excited to hear about that. But one thing you want to focus on is hostess rewards. How much is too much? Don't feel like you need to give away the kitchen sink when you do these. It's important to have a great rewards program, but you also want to have it work for you because you want to be compensated for your time. Okay. I want to leave you guys with this. You are worth every single penny that you're making on that dress. Don't give it all away. Keep some for yourself and create some confidence in yourself. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.
Excellent job, Katie. Thank you so much for sharing with us how to protect our profit margin and be profitable in our businesses. So thank you so much for that incredible talk. That does bring session 2 to a close today. So of course, I want to thank all of our speakers, starting with our co-founder, Jeff Thompson, who talked about growing together toward one purpose, Tia Coughlin, who talked about how to make Smile your full-time hustle, and to Steph and Courtney, who talked about flexibility in your business and being able to pivot during uncertain times. Again, thank you to Katie Graham, who did an amazing job talking about how to protect your profit margin. I also want to remind you guys that swag is available now on the website, so make sure that you head on over and pick up your favorite pieces of merchandise because that is a very special 2020 celebration collection. I love all of it, so I can't wait to see what you guys order up. And don't forget, when you get your orders, to hashtag #smile and tag us on Instagram so we can reshare and show you guys on our social profiles. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. And I also want to invite you guys tonight to join us for Smile Jam. So myself and my co-host Calvin Becerra will be joining a special guest merchandiser, and this is just a place where you can invite your prospects to come and learn more about the business opportunity with Smile. It starts at 6 o'clock Pacific time, and it's about 25 minutes, but it's just an amazing opportunity for you guys to invite any of your prospects to learn more about this incredible business so that you can continue growing your Smile business. That's a wrap for today, but we look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for session 1 of day 2 of Celebration 2020. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.